What is up, everybody? Welcome to Better Home Bartending. My name's Dakota Bryant, and today we're back in my kitchen. This is the show where we use standard home appliances, really easy to find ingredients, and basic bar tools to create great tasting cocktails. So for this episode, we're going to be tackling the original pink drink, the drink that's truly a woman's best friend, the Cosmopolitan. Right now, let's get our tools and ingredients prepped, then start making this drink. So for our tools, we're going to be needing a jigger, a manual juicer, a funnel, measuring cup, a fine strainer, Boston shaker, and then 2 small bottles. So now that we have all of our tools ready, let's set them aside and then move on to our ingredients. So for our ingredients, we're going to need 4 things. As our base spirit, we're going to be using vodka. Then we're going to be using triple sec. This is stirrings and what we'll be using today. This came in for about $8 to $10 at the liquor store. You can always use Cointreau. It's just a little on the pricey side. Then we have limes for lime juice, and then cranberry juice. Try to opt for an organic cranberry juice, not cranberry cocktail juice. So now let's start squeezing some limes and making our lime juice. So let's start by grabbing our knife for cutting our limes, then our measuring cup, setting it aside, and our hand juicer. Then, if you're going to be making multiple cocktails, I recommend squeezing about 6 ounces of lime juice. So now that we have our lime juice, let's grab our small bottle, our funnel, and then our fine strainer and start fine straining it. We're just going to set it aside for future use. And make sure we get all that pulp out of our lime juice, just to make for a nice cleaner cocktail. Set that aside. And move on to our cranberry juice. So I've cleaned my funnel, I'm going to use it again, and we're going to transfer just some cranberry juice into a nice bottle. That way it's easier to handle when we're making our drink. Save this cranberry juice for later. All right, so now that all of our ingredients are ready, it's time to get into the Cosmo. So at its core, the Cosmo started as a vodka gimlet before World War II. After World War II and soldiers start returning home, Cointreau is introduced into the picture, and people discover Cointreau and start adding it to their vodka gimlets. That's how you get the kamikaze. Then sometime after that, heading into the 80s, during the martini craze, people start adding cranberry juice to their kamikaze, and the Cosmo is born. In the Cosmopolitan's infancy, it graced all kinds of different social circles, from the gay community all the way to high-end celebrities ordering the drink at the Odeon. It's at the Odeon where a bartender named Toby Sakine puts this drink on the map. He's using Absolute Citron and slinging the pink drink, putting it in so many different people's hands. After the 80s, we enter the 90s, and the martini craze starts to die a little. Then, Hollywood, baby, HBO. So it's a little show on HBO called Sex and the City, and that's where you're going to see the most recognizable portrait of the Cosmopolitan. So on the show, Carrie Bradshaw drinks the Cosmopolitan at all kinds of different social gatherings. After this, across the country, the Cosmopolitan explodes. People start seeing the Cosmopolitan at restaurants, and at the time, restaurants didn't really have drink menus. With the addition of cocktail menus at restaurants, the Cosmo really anchors down and becomes a staple from coast to coast. Now when it comes to modern cocktail bars, you don't see the Cosmo on menus at all anymore. And most modern bartenders, they don't even really like to make the drink. But it's become a call, and it's become a true classic. So the Cosmopolitan will always have a special place in cocktail history. It's one of the few drinks that started with very classic roots, then transitioned and segued into a cocktail phenomenon. Now the Cosmo is not going to disappear anytime soon. At some bar, somewhere, somebody's going to ask a bartender how to make a Cosmo. For this at-home version, let's start building. So for our build, we're going to be using a martini glass. So we're going to add ice. Set it aside, and let it chill. Then we're going to go over to the bottom side of our Boston shaker, and using our jigger, we're going to add 1/2 ounce of lime juice, straight in. Next, using our jigger, cranberry juice, 3/4 of an ounce. Straight into the Boston shaker. Next, going into our triple sec, we're going to add 3/4 of an ounce to our jigger. And that's going to go straight into our Boston shaker. So our last ingredient is going to be our vodka. We're going to use 2 ounces right into the jigger and then right into the bottom of our Boston shaker. Now with our ice, we're going to go straight into the bottom side of our Boston shaker. Then with our pint glass, we're going to create a seal. Now it's time to shake. All right, that's probably enough. Now we want to make sure all of the liquid is out of our top shaker. Then we're going to go right on top with our Hawthorne strainer. Discard the ice from our martini glass. Martini glass should be nice and chill at this point. Now we're going to pour. This Cosmo has a perfect pink color. Now you should have a nice full cocktail after you're done pouring. Now it's time to garnish. Before our garnish, we're going to cut 1 lime wheel and place it on the rim. Now when cutting your lime wheel, you don't want it too thin, but you also don't want it too thick. You want a nice happy medium. Then you're going to do a slice right on the edge here. That's going to act as an anchor on the rim of your glass. Then place it on top like so. There you have your Cosmo. So let's try our Cosmo. Sweet, tart, sour. This drink's really vibrant. I don't care what anybody says, this is a good drink. Packed full of booze too. Cheers.